Hey, what's up everyone? Today I want to talk about City NFTs in Reality Metaverse. And honestly, I think I found something that will change your NFT collecting strategy, even for the biggest cracks in RMV. After spending quite a bit of time in the new Monopoly World game, I found something that changed my view on City NFTs. And if I'm right, City NFTs might be way more valuable than we think. So stay tuned, watch this video till the end, because what I have to say will change your view on City NFTs. I am not a certified financial advisor. Anything I say is for entertainment purposes only. First, let's have a look at how the royalty system works. Bear with me because this is important. Let's use the Eiffel Tower as an example. The Eiffel Tower is in Paris. And whenever somebody buys the Eiffel Tower, Paris also profits. But how does this work exactly? Well, when somebody purchases the Eiffel Tower in-game, an in-game buy, 30% of this buy will go to royalty collectors. So it will go to NFT owners. Now, here's how that royalty pool gets split up. 50% of the royalties go to Eiffel Tower NFT holders. 5% of the royalties go to the city, Paris, because the Eiffel Tower is in Paris. Another 5% will go to the country, in this case, France, because both the Eiffel Tower and Paris are in France. Then another 15% goes to all the other NFTs to make sure that all the NFTs profit from an in-game buy. And 25% goes to world NFTs, which is another NFT class. Now, if you buy a city, you start immediately looking at how many landmarks are in this city. It's logical, yeah? But is that the full story? Okay, let's stay with Paris. In Paris, there are a lot of landmarks. Not only the Eiffel Tower, but also the Arc de Triomphe and so on. So if you own Paris, you're not just getting revenue from one landmark, you're getting revenue from several. That's already pretty powerful, and that's why cities with a lot of landmarks always looked great to me. Then I started thinking, how about cities that haven't got any landmarks in the Reality Metaverse? Let's go to the other side of the world. Let's go to Canada, Montreal. I mean, it doesn't have an Eiffel Tower or a Statue of Liberty. No landmarks that people are chasing. So naturally, I assumed Montreal would only profit from that 15% to others royalties. Basically the leftovers. So I never really considered those cities as top tier chances. But then I started exploring Monopoly World, flying around in a drone, exploring other cities, trying to better understand how the game actually works. And while Monopoly World isn't launched yet, it's already playable in countries like the Netherlands, already bringing in a little bit of revenue. And you need this information. Monopoly World hasn't launched yet. Then how can I be playing it? Well, I was in the test group, but also if you're from the Netherlands, you can already play it, download it from the App Store. But the new revenue model, the royalties model for Monopoly World, it hasn't kicked in yet. Soft launch of Monopoly World will be somewhere this month, maybe next month, and then the royalty system will kick in. So what we're doing here is positioning ourselves for huge royalties. So back to the alpha. I landed in Montreal, and that's where things got more interesting. Because while I was exploring Montreal, this happened. I noticed that Montreal itself could be purchased. The Montreal NFT can be purchased in-game. And that changes everything. Because now we're not only talking about landmark revenue, but we're also talking about purchasing the Montreal card itself, giving 50% in royalties. 55 actually, because Montreal is in Montreal. So you would get the 50% because people purchased Montreal, and you would get the 5% because, well, Montreal is Montreal. That's actually more than what a landmark holder receives. And there could be added landmarks later. So the city could be worth more and more and more. Why does this change everything? Well, we have been treating cities as supporting assets. The city benefits when landmarks inside its borders generate activity. That's how we've been looking at it. But what if cities are a major revenue generating asset themselves? That's a completely different valuation model. And if Montreal works like this, then Paris probably works like this, London works like this, and we're not even done. There's other things that I think cities could get royalties from. Inside Monopoly World, players can buy gems, like any other mobile game. Those gems can be used for different actions inside the game. One example is flying your drone to different cities. You always get three options. One of them is free, the others cost you a little bit of gems. Now here's the question. If somebody spends money on gems and then spends these gems on flying to Montreal, could the city actually also get some revenue? Does the Montreal NFT holder also get royalties for that transaction? It could be. I haven't been able to get a clear answer on this last one, so I don't want to present it as a fact yet. But if the answer is yes, then City NFTs become even more powerful. And there's other ways even. What about I live in Montreal, I buy the gems, maybe Montreal even gets some royalties for that. So I don't even have to fly somewhere. That would mean bigger cities will get more revenue. This could also apply for countries, of course. Yeah, because I was in Montreal and I could buy the Montreal card. So I haven't seen it yet, but there's a possibility that I could also buy the Canada card, of course. So my conclusion right now is pretty simple. I think we have been underestimating city NFTs. We've all been focused on landmarks and countries, but cities themselves could end up being some of the strongest revenue generators in the Reality Metaverse system. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please leave reactions in the comments.